Good morning, farm friends. So it's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. It's a very special Mother's Day for Dan and I because even though we can't be with her, our daughter is celebrating her very first Mother's Day. The baby's still in her belly, but that still makes her a mother, so she's celebrating her very first Mother's Day. And we are enjoying our third Mother's Day on the farm. Dan always asks me every year, what would you like for Mother's Day? And I say the same thing every year, don't buy me anything, I just want to be on the farm. And he made the joke this morning that he doesn't know what he's gonna do in 4 years when we live here because we'll already be on the farm for Mother's Day. So we had a great day yesterday. A lot of it yesterday was sort of putting things back into place. The poor little basement was a little dirty. So we had to do a bunch of sweeping and we rearranged some things, moved some wood around. Dan, you did a quick little inventory of the wood that we have left.
Yeah, and it looks pretty good. We have a good start with the prices the way they are now. We have a really good start this year, so we're going to be able to make a lot of projects without having to go to our local hardware store
and buy COVID wood, which is what we're referring it to.
And suffer.
Yes. Dan made a great joke yesterday. We went into the hardware store because, of course, we're ordering windows this year. And so he went into the hardware store and he joked with the hardware man, Jason. We love Jason. He owns
Chamberlain Hardware.
St.
Agatha, Maine.
In St. Agatha, Maine. And we love Jason. He is hilarious and he's a new business owner and he has survived COVID, which is amazing. So we went in there to order our windows from him, and Dan made a joke and said, I want every $2 2x4 you have. And Jason said, they're gonna be about that big. And we all laughed because it was pretty funny. So that was our step yesterday, was going to look at windows and doors, and Jason gave us a catalog, and Dan and I hate catalogs, but we started looking through, and we think we found a door, and we think we found some windows, so we're in good shape. So we did that. We came into a visitor. A squirrel had taken up residence in the top part of the garage, which Blue told us about within 3 seconds of entering. So we had to work around the little squirrel. And then Mr. Blue somehow, some way, found sewage to roll in. And we didn't know what had happened because Blue goes and explores and has a good time, and we're working, we're sweeping and putting things away, and every so often we'll go out and we'll call him and he'll come back. And so we called him, he came back and he was covered from head to toe in this black, brown sludge. And so that set our day into a very different direction.
It was interesting to say the least.
Yes. So we went to our we have a little local convenience store owned by Mr. St. Peter. It's called St. Peter's, who we love. I love that man so much. I think he is the funniest guy, and he treats us so well. He's so good to us. So I went to St. Peter's and walked in, and I was huffy, obviously, because I was mad. And he starts laughing, and he says, "What's going on, April?" And I said, "Our frickin' dog rolled in crap and blah, blah, blah." And so I was buzzing around the store, and he suggested that I purchase the same products that you would purchase if your dog is sprayed by a skunk. And so I did. I bought baking soda and hydrogen peroxide and Dawn dish detergent. And when you mix those and you shush them together, they pretty much remove any oil or grease. It takes away just about any smell you can imagine, and it leaves whatever it is smelling pretty good. So we had to give Blue a bath in not bath-like temperatures, which we felt very bad about. Although, to be honest, I didn't feel all that bad because I was pretty mad at him. And then we lit our fire and allowed him to lay next to the fire to warm up. We are happy to report that although he does smell a tiny bit, it is nothing compared to what he smelled like yesterday.
It's probably his collar.
And we think it's his collar, which will be going in the trash as soon as we get home. And we're going to get him a new collar. So that went well. We got down to the stream yesterday. Stream looks great. We couldn't believe it, actually, because last year, the stream looks exactly the same this year as it looked last year, which is weird.
In the middle of a drought.
Yeah, last year was a drought.
It really doesn't go up or go down that much.
So it must not, it must get fed from somewhere, and wherever it's fed from is pretty consistent
Yep.
because it did not move. It's the same level, maybe a little deeper in the spring, but we would assume that because all of the snow had melted and had gone in. So there's that. We're gonna get a whole lot of work done today. This is gonna be a little bit of a long video because we've got a lot of stuff to tell you because this is really our first full weekend on the farm. We've come here for a day or two, but we weren't able to spend the night. But last night, not only did we get to stay the night, but we stayed the night in our brand new travel van, which means we got a phenomenal night's sleep. It was great to sleep and not sleep on the floor, like we were sleeping on a mattress.
I don't think anybody's seen the travel van.
Oh.
But we can show you later.
We can show you. We'll show you our travel van. It's not finished. It's like not finished yet, but it's sleepable, and that's what we did. The dogs are not a fan because they don't get to sleep with us because the travel van's bed, of course, is small because, you know, it's a van. So they have to sleep. Blue has to sleep in his little kennel, although he was going to be allowed to sleep outside of his kennel if he would not have been a crazy dog, but he was a crazy dog. So he's not allowed to sleep outside of his kennel. Not right now. Hopefully he'll calm down.
Well,
Lily...
he likes it.
He did. He went right to sleep. He loves his kennel at home, so he was fine. Lily slept. We put out a nice cushion for Lily with a beautiful blanket so that she'd be warm. And instead of sleeping there, she slept at the top of the van in between the two seats so she could stare at us with anger, which was fine because we both went to sleep and didn't notice anyway. But I have to tell you, there is something pretty special about waking up and looking out those van windows. And Dan parked the van just perfectly so that when we woke up, we would be seeing the sunrise. It was so beautiful this morning, so beautiful. What a great way to start your day. I cannot wait to start every day on this place. So we're gonna sign off for now, but we're gonna be back because Dan's got some stuff ahead of him and I'm gonna narrate and you're gonna get to see. So this is the travel van. This is where we slept last night. Dan doesn't want you to see the inside until it's finished. I said you'd be fine to see the inside, but he doesn't want you to see the inside until it's finished. So this is it. And there's some windows and so this is the travel van. This is where we slept last night. Dan doesn't want you to see the inside until it's finished. I said you'd be fine to see the inside, but he doesn't want you to see the inside until it's finished. So this is it. And there's some windows and ends up doing some work up by our road, the path. There's a big mound of dirt up there that he really wants gone. He doesn't like the way it looks. And it is kind of ugly, in all honesty. We'd like to flatten it out, feed that soil back into the forest, give it some good nutrients. So I've talked to you a lot about nature-made mulch. And one of the reasons that it's good to harvest in a forest when it's done responsibly is that it provides mulch for the forest, which infuses the dirt with wonderful nutrients and makes the land even healthier. Better for the animals, better for the birds, better for the humans. So I wanted to show you an example of what I mean by nature-made mulch. So if you look at this, just a few minutes ago, this was actually a log. I went to pick it up to put it in a pile so that we can burn it, get it out of the woods, but it's already mulch. See this? This is like the best mulch out there. Best stuff in the world, especially if there's no insects, and there is no insects in this wood. There's nothing here but amazing wood. And so what I'll do with something like that is I break it apart a little bit like this, and then I just lay it back out on the woods. I lay it back out on the floor. Sometimes I put it around a healthier tree, hoping that maybe some of those nutrients will get to the healthier tree. Right now I'm focused on the area that you see around. I'll do a panoramic for you. You can see just how much wood is here that I need to get rid of. I'm lucky that my two dogs are joining me. Blue is right here and Lily is sitting over by the potty. That's what I'm doing right now because I can't really help Dan. The rocks that he needs moved. I did try, but I'm just too small. I don't have the he-woman strength there to pick up some of those rocks. But I wanted to show you just what those logs look like when they're naturally made mulch. Okay, So as you can see, there is a log here. See that log? See this? Naturally made mulch. It's all natural mulch. Nothing encouraged it except nature itself. And you can see it just breaks apart really easily. And left alone, it would break apart over decades. But if we can encourage it a little, it can actually be added to the forest floor a little quicker. And those nutrients can get reabsorbed a little faster, and that's what we want. And of course, we make our own wood chips out of some of the deader trees that we can't harvest for the walls or for fires. But as you can see, this stuff just rips right apart, just comes right apart. And it actually makes incredibly beautiful mulch. The tree itself is getting ready to mulch. You can see some of it's already there. See how it just kind of breaks apart. But this is a very large tree, very, very large. So it's gonna take years for it to break down without some help. So what I'll do is I'll come in every couple of years or so, just like I did last year, and I'll just kind of give it a little bit of a push, and I'll nudge it along, and I'll go through with my hands and my gloves, and I'll take what I can out, and then I'll let it sit for another year, and it will sit for another winter, and it will become even more mulch. See how I can just pull pieces off? See? And that just encourages it to mulch faster, reabsorb it quicker into the land, and that's a win for everyone. So that is nature-made mulch. So a little bit of background. We're fixing the road today because we were the ones who ruined it. We came in a little too early. We were a little too anxious to get here, and the road was really soft. And so Dan is taking the tractor, and he is using his box blade to smooth out some of the areas that we were a little too heavy on, and that's going to make the road be in much better shape for the next few months. Blue, of course, is running around, so Dan's got to be extra watchful. He's still learning. He's very young. He's only a year old. So he's still learning about farm equipment, and you can't be running around farm equipment and things like that. It's a cloudy day today, but we can still get some work done. And so I'm going to stop talking, flip it around, and you're going to watch Dan use our relatively new tractor, not brand new, but relatively new tractor, and our box blade. of the things that we're doing today is we're cleaning out the forest a little bit. It's something that we do every year before the leaves really come back into play. So what we're trying to do is clean out this front area. Once the leaves come in, you won't be able to see much of the down wood, but that's not good for us. We want the forest floor to be clean. Some of the stuff I actually turn into mulch. By hand, I pick it apart and I spread it along the forest floor because that's really good for the forest floor. But the owners before us had this land harvested, which isn't a bad thing. Sometimes it's really good for the land to be harvested if it's done responsibly and if it's done with care to the environment. It's a really good thing for the forest. It cleans out some trees and allows new trees to grow. It's a good thing. Unfortunately, this was not done responsibly. This was done very carelessly. They left a lot of dead wood laying on the ground, and a little bit is a good thing, a lot is not. It impedes travel for our animals. We've noticed that since we cleaned out some trails, the animals are there's a lot more animal activity around our farm, more moose, more deer, more bunnies, and that's a really good thing. So we're gonna continue to clean. Every year we'll do a little bit of cleaning here and there, and so today is the day. Dan's on the tractor. I'm sure you can hear that in the background. He's doing some work trying to make our path to the mystery trail a little bit flatter. He's also going to do some road work today, so I'm going to take you down when he does that. But I wanted you to kind of see what it's like to clean the floor. I do want to show you. This is the wood that I've already collected already this morning, and this is the area that we are trying to clean up. You can see some down trees. There's trees that are caught. And this is before again, the leaves haven't blossomed yet. So this is the perfect time to get in here and do some work, because once the leaves blossom, it's hard to see. Some of this stuff I will not be able to get out without a chainsaw, without Dan's chainsaw. But some of it I can get out by hand, and that's what I intend to do. So come along with me as I do a little bit of forest cleaning. From here on out, it's going to be in fast forward mode, because if not, this might be a really long video. All right, wish me luck. Well, I'm thwarted. I got up in the tree, but the branch is too heavy. It must still have way too much wood left in it. So that is yet another tree that I'm going to need Dan's chainsaw for. But as you can see, we have a lot of work ahead of us. I'm going to take a break and sit for a minute, because I'm definitely not 15 anymore. When I was 15, I could have swung up on that thing like nobody's business. Whew, at 46, it takes a bit out of you. So I'm going to take a break, and we'll be right back. So one more thing I wanted to add to our video, since it's already so long, I figure I can add a couple more things. Behind where our outhouse is, there was a fallen birch tree, and I freed it from the forest canopy, because that's actually dangerous. To have a tree hanging out like that is dangerous, not just for us humans, but for the dogs and any other animals that come wandering through. So I freed it from that to get it down on the ground. Unfortunately, it's still pretty stuck, but Dan will be able to take care of that with his chainsaw. But I wanted to share with you, since the birch tree is already down and it's already dead, I'm actually harvesting some of the birch bark, this stuff. Because believe it or not, when this stuff is dry, it's like the best fire starter in the world. So we are going to use the birch, obviously, for a campfire, and that'll be good use of it. But I'm also going to use the birch bark. I'm going to store it so that we can use it to light fires. Paper's hard to come by. It's getting harder and harder, actually, to come by. So we've been trying to find alternative things to use, and birch bark is a really great fire starter, and you don't need a lot of it, just a little. So I'm going to harvest the birch bark on this tree, store it in a nice dry place, and that will be our fire starter for the summer. Win-win. Come on, Blue. Time to go. Time to go, Blue. Come on, Blue. Let's go home. Come on, Lily. Come on, Lil. Come on, Lily. Come. Come on, Lil. Time to go home. Time to go home, Lily. Up, up. Good boys and girls. Good boy, Blue. Good boy. Good boy, buddy. Time to go home. Well, another weekend has come and another weekend has gone, and it's time to pack up and head out and head back to our real life for the next week. If you're a mom, I hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day. If you're not a mom just yet, I hope that you wished your mom a happy Mother's Day. And I hope you wished all the ladies in your life who have had some kind of an impact on your life a happy Mother's Day. Sometimes we forget that it's not just about the mothers. Yes, Mother's Day is about moms, but there are lots of women out there who may not have had you as a child, but may have mentored you and nurtured you, made you feel special. And that's really what a mom does, right? So happy Mother's Day. I had a great one, cleaned out the forest, made some wood piles. I got to play with my new four-wheeler. It was a good day. It was a good day. It's always sad to have to pack up and go, but just means that it's 4 more days so we can get back out here. You may or may not see a video next week. My daughter's baby shower is next week, so we're going to be doing that. So if you don't see a video next week, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Hopefully you will. And maybe we can introduce you to Big T. Until then, my friends, like the channel, subscribe, come with us on our adventure. We so love having you here, and we're going to see you soon. You come see us at Farm in the Woods. Bye.